I'll run it legal with the Russians if the money right.
So I guess we are here at the Flying J right quick. Listen, drivers, I came across this comment that was left in one of my videos. It stopped me for a minute to think about what it said. It said that if the Russians
should have known,
are paying good and they're paying right, then they don't mind running illegal or violating their hours of service. So drivers, I guess this is where the video is going to start, with this one comment. Let's talk about it.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Well, so I guess when I came across that comment, it was crazy, because when I read it, the first thing that came to my mind was, bro, that was kind of crazy, you saying that out loud, right? So basically, what you're saying is you don't mind sacrificing your CDL and putting other motorists at risk for the money, right? You saying that if the money is right, the rules don't matter. What you're saying is that you'll drive tired, you'll fake your logs, you'll keep driving after your clock runs out. And what you're actually saying is that you don't mind if the Russians reset your clock.
Russians should have known.
That's what you're admitting. You're admitting that for the world to hear. Now, maybe you're thinking that everybody else does it, right? Well, they do. But there are plenty of drivers out here who actually refuse it, though. There are drivers who pull over when they get tired. There are drivers who tell the dispatchers no. And when that happens, the dispatcher might get in their feelings. Sometimes they might not get the load. Sometimes the dispatcher probably might sit them stranded somewhere. But if that all happens, though, you still get to keep your license. See, drivers, here's what I don't understand, right? People spend thousands of dollars getting their CDL. And I know mine costed me about $5. We spend weeks in school, and some of you even spend months trying to find that first job. Some families, well, a lot of families, a lot of them depends on your license. Then here's that one company that just pops up out of nowhere, and they offer you a little bit of money. You know, they wave that little dollar.
Find me money.
I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
In front of you, like the little carrot in front of the rabbit. They wave that around, and suddenly your CDL doesn't even matter anymore. And drivers, that don't even make sense to me. You're risking the one thing that feeds your family, that one thing that gives you a career, something that you haven't even found before. Let's say you was working at Amazon, McDonald's, or something like that. Your CDL is your career. Without it, you don't have a career in trucking. And if you're out here risking it, you're risking it for years to come. Let's just say nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. I get it. You get away with it. Okay, then what? You're going to keep doing it, right? That's what you do. You're going to keep doing it over and over and over again. Why?
Why?
Because once you convince yourself that it's okay to do it the first time, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier a second time, then a third, and then it just becomes normal. And that's how drivers get comfortable with doing dangerous things behind the wheel on the road. Let's flip this situation right quick. You're driving beside your wife, girlfriend, maybe your mom. Your kids is in the back seat playing tic-tac-toe or pick that car. Would you want a truck driver next to you that's driving the truck who has been awake for 16 to 18 hours? Hold on.
You say you've been driving for 24 hours?
Yes.
24 hours straight. How much sleep you got?
30 minutes.
How many?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, that's it. Man, you a beast, bro. Wow.
You know, I drove before 2,500 miles straight, non-stop.
How many?
2,500 miles straight.
How much you bring home a week?
A week from 2,500 to 4,500, mostly. Sometimes 5,000. Like last week, 4,600.
Yeah. So where you going after you leave here?
I gonna go sleep because I didn't sleep for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a load to come from here to Wisconsin at night time. As soon as I feel tired and I can't move it,
Right.
I stop and sleep.
Right. So what you do about logs? You run your logs?
They make it for me. They live with it.
They make it.
I'll tell you this. I'm being honest with you. I work my ass up in this way because I want to open. I have a farm.
Right.
I buy a farm
Mm-hmm.
in Egypt,
Yeah.
1,000 acres. I'm trying to fix it in the middle of the desert.
Right. So where you stay at now?
I'm staying in Texas.
In Texas? What part of Texas?
Texas, in front of the Mexican border, McAllen, Texas.
Oh, McAllen. You over there by Laredo and all that, huh? Yeah.
Would you want somebody whose logbook says one thing and their body is telling a totally different story? Probably not. So why should somebody else's family has to deal with that? See, I think that's the part where a lot of people forget. Let me tell you one thing. Hours of service aren't only about the truck driver. Everybody else on the highway is definitely affected by all the decisions that truck drivers make out here. And listen, don't tell me that you know your body, because I hear that thousands of times. So fatigue don't even ask permission. Hell, fatigue don't even care how tough you are. You can feel fine right up until the time you close your eyes for 2 seconds. And 2 seconds is all it takes. 2 seconds at highway speed, that can instantly change somebody's life in an instant. And when that crash happens, and eventually it will happen, see, nobody ain't going to talk about the money anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now it's going to be about the lawyers, the cops, the DOT, insurance, the courtrooms, the families over there crying about their missing loved one, the news cameras that's going to be all over this when you get in that accident. And suddenly, all that money that they was dangling in front of your face, it pretty much ain't gonna matter anymore. Drivers complain all the time that the companies don't respect us out here. There's no companies that respect truck drivers, even though they say they do, but I don't know. You just gotta take it with a grain of salt sometime. But here's this one driver who openly admit that they will break the safety rules if the money is right. What that actually does, it gives these Russian companies exactly what they want. Now they know for certain that somebody out here is willing to do anything for $1.
I'd buy that for $1.
And now that I think about it, why would they change? Why would they improve their conditions? Why would they respect drivers when there are drivers out here volunteering to ignore the rules that is made for us out here? So drivers, I've been talking about these black op companies plenty of times before. All the time. I got plenty of videos about these black op, Russian, any carrier out of Chicago. I talked about it. Some drivers have good experience, but there's a lot that has terrible experience. Some got paid, but there's a lot that got cheated on. So these stories are all over the internet, but none of that changed this point right here. Even if a company pays every single week, every Friday, like clockwork, that still doesn't make violating your hours of service a smart decision. See, money doesn't erase responsibility. Drivers, you know, by saying what you said publicly, right, and admitting for the world to know that you're willing to run illegal with the Russians as long as the money's right. Imagine you saying that and a safety director from a company or a safety investigator came across your post. Imagine a trucking company that you might be interested in, right? Imagine them seeing this post that you made, right? Imagine that company that you put your application in, that's the company you want to go with, and they came across your post that you said out loud that you're willing to run illegal and drop all the rules because of the money. Imagine an insurance company seeing that, right? Because insurance company are the ones that hires and approve the drivers. I'm just saying, it's not the company. It's a little known secret who actually have standing on who hires the drivers. See, let me just say something right here and right now. Sometimes drivers don't think before they type or talk. See, the internet, and I keep telling you guys, the internet is forever, okay? It is. It's forever. See, that comment that you just put in the video saying that you'll run for the Russians illegally if the money's right, well, that comment can follow you just about everywhere you go. And it can follow you a lot longer than you think. So people always ask me, like, why do I tell drivers to always protect their CDL? Right here is the exact reason why.
Why?
This is the exact reason why I say protect your CDL at all times, because there are drivers out there that is willing to risk their CDL, no matter what the cost is. If the money's right in this driver's case, he'll sacrifice his CDL. That's why I keep telling you guys that, hey, right here, right now is where you're supposed to be protecting it. A CDL isn't easy to replace, especially after it's damaged. Good luck explaining to your future employees why you violated federal regulations because the money was right. That's not exactly a great interview answer. If a dispatcher tells you to run illegal, say no. That's what I would say. And if they come back to threaten the job, then leave, right? Let's be honest, there's a lot of Russian carriers out there that you can jump from. If one Russian carrier is threatening the job, hop on to another Russian carrier that will probably bring you in. There are other companies out there, might not be as paid well as the Russians, but there are other companies out there that would probably give you a chance. But I don't know, if they come across this comment saying what you said, they might have to think twice about it. See, drivers, let me explain something to you right here, right now, right? There isn't another CDL sitting on top of the shelf waiting for you if yours get taken away. So drivers, all I want to say is that there's no paycheck worth explaining to a family why somebody isn't coming home tonight, because you decided the money was worth breaking all the rules.